Hello everybody, good morning. How you all doing this morning? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa. I am that doll collector. Today I have a different kind of a video and maybe even somewhat of an informative one for all of you that enjoy vintage dolls. If you enjoy thrifting, finding new dolls, bringing them home, cleaning them up, making them new, bringing them into your collection, then this might be the video for you. I was inspired to do this video by, well, actually two different channels within the doll community. I've been watching Springflower over at Springflower's Amazing Doll Connection, and she recently did a video about thrifting and finding dolls, and said to all of us that, you know, if you find a doll at a thrift store or, you know, on a garage sale or whatever, why not take a chance on it and bring it home and give it a home. And I just thought, you know, that'd be a really good video to do about the things that I have done, all my dolls that I found throughout the years, that same way. Also, Josie at Josie's Jungle Room, she does this all the time, and I really enjoy her channel. She's always, her and her husband actually are always going to garage sales or thrift stores or even estate sales, and she's finding some really cool things, you know, dolls and doll accessories. Both of these channels, if you haven't checked them out, you should really go and check them out, because they might be something that you really find interesting. They both have beautiful dolls and different kinds of dolls. I will have both of the channels linked in the description of my video today. So today, the first doll that I'd like to show you and talk to you about is this one that I'm holding right here. I named this doll Margo. And the story behind this doll is I don't know exactly what she is. She's a EEG vintage doll. I do know that. And I think I've seen her within the community. I think one or two people might have this doll in their collection as well. And the story is that one summer when I was in college, I was doing an internship in Michigan. And there was a flea market at a nearby town, and that's where I found her. So she came all the way from Michigan. She is very, very much pre-loved. When I got her, she had really bad hair. She had a bonnet on, and she only had a few little hairs in the front. And she was pretty dirty. Her body still is kind of stained, but it's clean. I cleaned it. And someone at some point had unstitched the bottom of her and put some weight in her. So this doll does have a little bit of weight. So she's got the open and closed eyes, but she doesn't have very many eyelashes left. Some little person really played with this doll at one time. But she's so cute. And when I got her home and cleaned her up and dressed her in a little outfit, I took some pictures of her, and people actually were mistaking her. They thought she was a real baby because she kind of has those features when you pose her in a certain way. But I recently had gotten her a new wig, or a different, you know, a wig to go over her old hair, because it was just so bad. You had to keep a hat or a bonnet on her. And I think she looks pretty cute. She's, you know, all cleaned up, a different outfit. And this is what she is. So she'll stay in my collection for as long as I'm here. She's so well loved, my little Margo. This is the second doll that I'd like to share with you all. This is, I don't know what kind of doll this is. It's maybe like a 21 inch, 22 inch doll. And it's all plastic and vinyl. And this doll, I've made this doll a boy. If any of you follow my channel, you know that I do that quite frequently, dolls that are meant to be girls. I sometimes will see them as being a boy. And I named this little one Huckleberry. And Huckleberry came to me. He's got kind of an interesting story. My ex-husband one day went to the public dump site, and he came back with this doll and said, you know, I thought you maybe could do something with this doll. I felt bad for it. It was just sitting there, and I thought of you, so I brought it home. Well, it was nice to know that somebody other than me had a soft spot for dolls. And he was kind of in rough shape. If you look real close at this doll, his one eye, and you can still kind of see it, it's not quite as clear as the other one. When I first got him, it was all white, like he had glaucoma. And sometimes dolls will get that, especially the older vintage dolls, because he's got the open and close eye, you know, his eyes open and close. And they'll get like, they'll get moisture in behind the one part of their eye, and it'll make them foggy. So I went on YouTube and looked at a couple videos to see if I could cure that without actually taking him apart, and I didn't want to try and do, you know, a whole lot of stuff to him. So I found that one person said that to take oil that you, like 3-in-1 oil, that's the oil that you use on like your sewing machine, and put a few drops on the eye, and then lay him on his stomach and puts like a paper towel over the eye so that when it, you know, if it drips out, it doesn't hurt anything. It just stays on the paper towel, and leave it there for several hours or even a day. And so I tried that first. And you know what? It cleared up the eye almost, well, a little more than half of it. It did clear up. I left it overnight. And that did make it better. And then just recently here, I was looking to see if I could find that information again, and I couldn't find it. And all they have for information about that now is using a hair dryer. You take a piece of paper in a cone shape and put it right over the eye, and then you put your hair dryer over it, like on the cone, and it directs the hot air and is supposed to take care of the condensation in the eye that way. That way though, you have to be very careful because you can melt the eyelashes a little bit if you're not really careful. And so I tried that too to see if I could get it a little bit further clear, and that worked a little bit too. They're a little bit down on now the information is saying that you shouldn't use the oil method because it can cause other further damage. But so far I have not seen personally any further damage from doing the oil method. The only other thing that you sometimes do get is his eye will weep, you know, for a while afterwards. You'll have to keep his face wiped off and stuff, but it doesn't hurt the, you know, the plastic or the vinyl of the doll. The other thing with this guy was he has bad hair, you know, like most of them do. They have that real fibrous thing. It gets really dry and it's not very nice anymore. And I've never tried this, but another person on YouTube, and I should have written down all these people's channels, but I never did. They said that you could use Goo Gone because it's like a petroleum-based product, and to put that in the hair because it gets so dry that'll help it. I've never tried it, but I'm interested in seeing what it would do. They said it's supposed to bring it back to more of a soft state. So anyway, I got him this little wig. I put it on his head, and it kind of looks like a little Justin Bieber with this type of hair now. But I think it's so cute. It's just, you know, some little boys have hair like this, real thick hair. And I think he's just a cutie patootie. Another thing with him is his arm. And by looking at him, you can't tell that there's anything wrong with his arm. But you see, this arm moves fine. And you can put it up and down. And even his legs are good. There's nothing else wrong with him, but this arm right here, it does not stay. And if you look at it, you can see that there's like supposed to be like a plastic piece that holds it in, and it's gone. So you can just, you know, you could pull his arm all the way out if you really wanted to, or push it all the way in. But it stays right here. It doesn't like fall off or anything. And I just use this doll mainly like a display doll on the shelf, just for something cute to look at. And so you would never know that anything was wrong with his arm. So anyway, yeah, that's my Huckleberry. Now the other day, a couple days ago, I went thrifting. I went thrifting for some clothes for Georgie, and I always go through the doll section and look at dolls that are sitting in there that people don't want. And I have found a lot of 18-inch dolls. And actually, I have a total of 5 18-inch dolls in my doll collection, and 4 of the 5 I found thrifting. I'm going to pause the video and take you into the nursery, and I'll show you those dolls that I have in there. Okay, so here we are. I keep all my 18-inch dolls on a shelf in my doll room, nursery, whatever you want to call it, in here, where all my dolls are kept. And all the dolls, the only one that I did not purchase from the thrift store from Goodwill is the pink hair doll on the left-hand side, this one right here. And she is a My Life As doll. I got her from Walmart on sale when they were having that closeout sale. She was like, what was it, $15 or $20 or something like that. It was a really good price. And I thought she was pretty. Her name is Amora, and she has really pretty, like violet blue type eyes. And she's got pink hair with a little rainbow strip. Pretty little outfit. I put that little Care Bear in her hand because I thought that looked really cute. She's got pink tennis shoes, shiny pants. I just thought she was really pretty. Then I thought, well, I'll go to the thrift store and I'll see if they have any 18-inch dolls there. So every time I go, I look, and I have found quite a few. Now, some of the dolls that you look at the thrift store are really, really beat up, but some are in really good shape. This doll right here, this one is her. I looked up these dolls' names, and her name is Sydney. She's a My Life doll, My Life As doll, and she's from 2013. Amora is also from 2013. It's stamped on the back of their neck. You can see with the My Life As dolls, that'll tell you what year they're from. And I thought she was really cute. She does, if you look at her legs, I have to have her standing like this. I don't have any stands for my 18-inch dolls. And so they kind of just stand there, lean up against the wall or each other. And her legs seem to be a little crooked. Like she doesn't want to stand perfectly straight, but I think she's really cute. She looks like she's posing when she's like that. The little guy next to her, his given name is Malik, and he's the only boy in my collection. I was really excited to find him one day. If you look real close, you'll see he's got a little scuff mark on his nose and on his cheek. Somebody had actually written on his face with a pen or a crayon, and I cleaned him all up, cleaned up, you know, his arms and his legs, and gave him this cute little outfit that I had for a different doll in my collection. And that's the nice thing about finding dolls that you need to find clothes for, is if you have a little bit larger collection of all different kinds of dolls, sometimes you can find clothes that you already have and they'll fit the new doll that you bring into your collection. And that was the case with this guy. He looks like he has a little sweatsuit on. Do you guys remember the style? I remember my brother wearing his sweatsuit like this. He had to have the legs pushed up like that and the arms up, and He's just a 90s style and type of Malik. The thing I really like about Malik is his hair. And I have brought each one of these. Of course, when I bring a new doll into my house, I will wash their hair, wash their, try and wipe down their body, their vinyl and everything. I clean them all up completely. And he has had his hair washed. But I really like this about these boy 18-inch dolls, how they have the felt. Looks like shaved, like their hair has been shaved, on the side. That's one thing I really like. And also, my boyfriend Robert, Malik is his favorite 18-inch doll. He really likes Malik. It makes him laugh every time he looks at him. The little girl next to Malik here, she's really pretty. I was really excited to find her too. And when I found her, her hair was all like in braids and was really bad on the ends. So I actually ended up giving her a pretty good trim all the way around her hair. I unbraided it, washed it, and kind of picked, whoop, she's falling forward. Whoopsie, I must have touched her too much. Okay, blooper. Anyway, okay, hold your unicorn now. Okay, there we go. You gonna stand there now? All right. She wanted to dance for you all. Anyway, okay. Her name is Tanisha. That's her given name. And she's from 2023. Oh, Malik, I forgot to tell you, he's from 2022. Tanisha's from 2023. I brought her home and I dressed her in this pretty little cute pajama outfit. And I thought she's just adorable. She's just really adorable. She's a very pretty, beautiful, attractive 18-inch doll, I think. Very unique. Now, the other day, 2 days ago, when I was thrifting in a nearby town at Goodwill, I found this doll. And I was excited to find her. She's got pretty red hair, and she's got freckles, brown eyes. And I put this little butterfly up here because she does have a little piece of hair that somebody cut and it just kind of sticks up like alfalfa. So I put this little butterfly clip to kind of hold it down, and I think she looks cute. I gave her a new outfit. She did not have any clothes when I found her. I again washed her hair and washed her body and wiped her vinyl down. And another thing I did was I painted her lips, because when she came, I don't think her original lip color was supposed to be a bright neon pink. Like they were like the same color as these shoes right there, and it just didn't look right. So I painted her lips. So what do you guys think? They look okay? I think she looks a lot better than with bright pink anyway. So, and when I looked her up, she's from 2016 and her name is Arlie. That's how she's from. I didn't know, but so these three are our generation dolls. And of course, these two are my life as dolls. One thing I found out was our generation dolls, I didn't know, but they have their tag on the side will actually have their birth date on it, like when they were assembled, when they were made. They'll have a date. If you look real close at the bottom, there'll be an actual date on there. So that's how I know what year they were from, which is kind of neat. I kind of really found that very fascinating. So there they all are, my little 18-inch crew, and my Snork. Remember the Snorks? They were a cousin to the Smurfs. Anyway, okay, back to the rest. Okay, so also while thrifting, I actually found 3 dolls a couple days ago when I was at Goodwill. And the second doll that I found, kind of in the same area as where the 18-inch dolls were, was this girl. Do you guys know who this girl is? Yeah. Kid sister, and me. And that's who I thought she was. And I looked at her tag, and that is what she is. I was so excited to find her. These dolls are actually pretty big. They're a good sized doll. And when I found her, I was so excited that I just grabbed her up right away and took her home. And upon trying to clean her up, I did not realize how beat up this doll was. Some little girl or little boy really, really loved this doll, or they were played with this doll really hard. She looked like she was drugged through the dirt. Her hands were so filthy. I had to scrub like every inch of her, wash her hair, and she's missing a lot of hair. When this doll is new, it has 2 braids, one on each side of her head. And she comes with like a little sun visor and bib overalls. And this part is just her cloth. It looks like she has a shirt on. And it's still kind of dingy, and she has like, they put this type of shoe, they look like little shoes, but that is actually her foot. They just put this little cuff around to look like a sock. And it's kind of beat up. You can see it's kind of flaking off. But she's so cute. I once I got her face scrubbed and her all cleaned up, and she smells good. And she's pretty cute doll. And I was looking on Mercari, and you can find the bib overalls. They have them there. You can purchase them. So there was 2 different kinds of these from what I gathered. There was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, my kid sister doll. And then there was this one with the red hair and the green eyes. And the one with the red hair and the green eyes had a teal colored bib overall and sun hat. And the other one had pink and pink sun hat, pink bib overalls. But anyway, I thought she was so cute, and she was a cute little find. I named her Loretta. I thought she looked like a Loretta. So the last doll that I found that I'd like to share with you is my most, I think, exciting find that I found for the day. And she wasn't with the rest of the dolls. She was kind of across the aisle and in a totally different section where she really didn't belong with some of the other toys. And as I was walking down the aisle, I could hear this little voice. It was like a little voice calling me over to the other side of the aisle saying, "Pick me, take me home, love me, I need a home." Let me show you who she is. Here she is. She's a Pat Seacrest doll. And the Pat Seacrest dolls, and I think even maybe some of the Lee Middleton dolls, their names of their sculpts are words like sleepy, cheerful. Her name is Thoughtful. And I think she's so pretty. I brought her home, and she must have been somebody's just display type doll, because her body is, she's got a white cloth body underneath, and she's 3/4. She's got, cloth shoulders and full legs. But she's in like mint condition as far as her body. There's no stains at all on her. And the only thing that I did, of course, I washed her hair. She's got a wig. Usually the Pat Seacrest dolls have wigs. And, you can see brown eyes. She had like an inch of dust on her face and on her eyelashes. But she cleaned up just fine, and she smells good, and there's nothing wrong with this doll. She's such a cute doll. I really love her hair. It's like a platinum blonde color with the bangs, and it's really long. It goes all the way down to the back of her backside. And she's kind of a cuddly doll. And when I was looking at her, I was like, this doll reminds me of somebody. Who is it that this doll reminds me of? And finally it came to me. You guys remember that movie, Poltergeist? There was a little girl in that movie, and her name was Carol Ann. Remember? She says, "They're back." Remember that? If any of you were into those kinds of movies or happened to see that, that's who she reminds me of. So I named her Carol Ann after that little character in that movie. But yeah, I brought her home and I put her in this pretty pink little sleeper. And she was in a pretty little outfit, and there's really nothing wrong with it. I just washed it up a little bit. And you know, pink is one of her colors. And I'm going to show you what she was dressed in. She had these little white shoes with the little like kind of like Mary Jane type shoes, and the white socks with the ruffles. And she had these little bloomers with the purple bow. She didn't have a diaper, but she does have a diaper on now. I put a diaper on her. And then she had a slip, so you can't see through her dress. You know, that's what we used to do back then, or when, or whatever, with the little lace on the bottom. And this was the dress she had on. It's so pretty. It's pink and it's got purple and white flowers and yellow centers. You know, little short sleeves with the puff on the top, roughly around this, you know, the front and the back, and it velcros in the back. And you know, pink does really look really pretty on this doll. And I don't know, I might put it back on her. It's you can tell it's a little worn. Like, she sat in this doll, like I said, I think she was just somebody's display doll. There's a tiny little stain on the back. Looks like somebody dripped coffee on her or chocolate or something. There's just like a tiny little stain. But that's all that was wrong with this baby. And I'm so glad I found her. I have a few other Pat Seacrest dolls in my collection. These dolls, from what I gather, you could buy these dolls as kits. And they come with, you know, the head, the arms, and the legs. And then some came with a body that you could purchase separate. And then you would just put them together yourself. And I know that in a nearby town that I go to, one year they had a vendor at a big craft show, and she was selling dolls like this. And that's where I got my Cuddle Baby that I call Strawberry, or Clara, my little strawberry shortcake. That's where I got her. And she was a Sleepy Sculpt. I also have some smaller dolls that are a Pat Seacrest type doll that I assembled actually myself. And so yeah, they're really neat dolls. They're kind of like a Lee Middleton, kind of from that same era. This doll is stamped on the back of her neck. It says thoughtful, and she's from 1995 is what it says. So, my little vintage girl, Carol Ann. Well, that's everything I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed seeing all my thrifted babies, all my thrifted dolls. And like I said, go over and check out Springflower and Josie and their channels and see what thrifty dolls they have over at their channel. And I hope that you guys will consider next time you see a doll, you know, sitting to the side or in a bin, and if it calls to you, just take it home. Take a chance on it. If it turns out to be more than what you bargained for, just redonate it, or you know, give it away. But they're worth taking a chance on. You never know. You might pick up something that's actually, you know, something rare, and you never even knew. So anyway, that'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for coming and watching my video today. I hope that if you like this video that you will give it a thumbs up and come back and check me out in the next one. Thank you so much. And remember that happiness is a choice. And we all love you over here at That Doll Collector. See you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.